Thank you very much, Malia, for asking me this question. But before that, I would like to thank AGA's Legal Aid Cell, Asma Jahangir Foundation, and other organizers to inviting me to address this conference for the second time. I was here in 2018, first Asma Jahangir conference speaking on the abolition of death penalty on that conference. So this is my second time, and I'm pleased to be here. Before I start speaking on responding to your question, I would like to mention my connection with Asma Jahangir. I would like to pay tribute to her. She was my teacher, mentor, friend, and debater with me. On many occasions, we debated on different issues. We had a disagreement. One example I would like to give, when she came to Afghanistan, I was their legal advisor to the UN Special Representative for Afghanistan. We invited her to come as a special rapporteur on summary execution. So we were discussing about what recommendation she should have in her report. I was pushing one thing very much, that ratification of International Criminal Court by Afghanistan. Afghanistan went through such a disaster situation, serious crimes, war crimes, crimes against humanity. Afghanistan deserved better. So she was arguing with me, is it really possible to do that by Afghanistan? No Asian country so far has done, only one, Philippines, ratified that treaty. But at the end, she accepted and went to President Karzai, recommended, and within 3 months' time, we received that ratification by the Afghan government and ICC. Now we have a case, preliminary case against Afghanistan in the ICC. So through debate, we reached some consensus. Always that was I learned from her, that how to work in this international environment. Coming back to your point, that we have seen, as Madam mentioned, Honorable Judge mentioned about prison overcrowding is happening because of those people shouldn't be in the prison. Who are those people we are talking about? We have done little research recently, and I would like to show you that first. This report, I have here a copy for all of you. And in the report, it is about human rights challenges with regard to drug offenses or drug problem as a whole all over the world. There is one thing we found, one of the key human rights challenges is the prison overcrowding by drug-related offenses. All over the world, almost 1/5 prison population, now around 11 million people in the world, detained or incarcerated all over the world for drug-related offenses. Among these 11 people incarcerated, among them 20% for drug-related offenses. Here you will see one data I put here, the 20% drug offenses. Among these 20%, 61% for small possession of drugs. I had an opportunity last week to have a discussion with Assistant Inspector General and also Prosecutor General from Lahore in a conference in Islamabad organized by Justice Project Pakistan on drug laws and problem with the drug laws. I also learned from that conference that similar problem you have in Pakistan, that 20%, exactly 19.6% prison population incarcerated, large number of them under pretrial detention for drug-related offenses. And this is one of the issues we have noticed, that those countries who try to decriminalize the personal possession, number of prison population has decreased tremendously. Let me give you one example. In last 2 years back, Ghana, one of our Commonwealth country, Ghana, they removed from the criminal law possession of drugs for personal use. That one, small drugs and all these things, they removed from their law, and that contributed to reduction of the prison population tremendously. I just sent a message this morning to my colleague in a Post Foundation, what is the situation now? They mentioned that the prison population decreased almost 33% prison population after the changes in the legislation. I'd like to give you another example. Tunisia, the pretrial detention. We discussed about the pretrial detention contribute to the prison overcrowding. Madam mentioned that pretrial detention, people should not be that long time for pretrial detention. In Tunisia, we did one research in 2015 after the Arab Spring and on the prison system, prison situation. One of the key reasons we found one of the key reasons of the prison population, increased prison population, is the pretrial detention, i.e., or other way we could call that non-bailable offenses. So large number of people in the prison because of non-bailable offenses, pretrial detention center. So we work with the prison legislative authority of Tunisia, and just only one small amendment in the legislation to removing the mandatory word from the legislation contributed to reduction of the prison population. No longer is it mandatory that because of the drug offenses or because of the protest, public protest and all these offenses, they have to be in the prison without any trial. We don't know when going to be the trial, but those small changes yielded a result. Last point I would like to mention, another example I would like to give, that is the criminalization of poverty. And that is one of the key concerns for us. And we have noticed that this criminalization of poverty, Vagrancy Act, we have that in my country, in Bangladesh also, we have the colonial legislation. In whole Commonwealth jurisdiction, we have seen this kind of act for homelessness. Those petty crimes need to be removed from the legislation to avoid this prison overcrowding in the system. Thank you. Maybe I'll come back with other.